Hi, welcome to Talking Text. Our passage is 1 Peter chapter 5 from verse 5. Likewise, you who are younger, be subject to the elders. Clothe yourselves, all of you, with humility toward one another. For God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Peter here addresses the church. He's just addressed the leaders. And now he says to the church, likewise, in the same manner, in the same way. And what did he tell the elders or leaders? He exhorted them to follow Jesus' example of not being one who tries to gain things or tries to dominate others, but rather who puts others first, who does it willingly, who loves people, who shepherds and cares for people. All these things he's saying likewise to all the believers. The model for leadership and the model for just following Jesus is the same. It's the person of Jesus, putting others first, loving, serving. And he says, be subject to the elders. Can you imagine a relationship, or any relationship, you think about a marriage or a friendship, where both people or both parties in the relationship are just preferring, loving, honoring, serving, putting the other one first? It would go really, really well, wouldn't it? In fact, we see when the opposite happens is when things break down, when people are prideful, when people put themselves first, when they put their agendas first, or they try to dominate. That's when things break down. And so Peter is exhorting the church and the leaders, both of you follow the example of Jesus. All of us should follow the example of Jesus. He says all of you should do this with humility towards one another. Humility is best displayed towards others. I think if you can be humble towards yourself, I'm not sure about that. But humility is demonstrated and experienced in community around others. And so he says, be humble towards one another. And then he gives them a great reason, because one, it's the example of Jesus, but two, he says, because God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. I want to ask you, would you like grace to be upon your life? Would you like to have God's great grace flowing through you and just upon you? Well, let God come and rush towards you through a humble heart and through a way of serving others and putting others first. We know that God, it says here, God opposes the proud. You can't violate God's ways and still get the life of God to come. You can't be proud and putting yourself first and expect the life of God to come. And so this is how Peter encourages these believers. Follow Jesus. Don't work against God, because you won't win, but rather display humility towards everyone, leaders and every believer. Live a life of humility. Thanks for letting the text talk.